Welcome back, Chop Shop Diaries. I've been away for a couple of weeks, so we're gonna get back into this now. We've got a bit of work to do on the M2, which we're gonna do a quick video, run you around, and we've got a couple of little projects coming up that we'll be showing you as well. We've got the M2 down to the unit. We're not using this car this year so much. We've used it the last 3 years on the bounce, so we're gonna do a lot more in the Porsche this year, take that out to Germany. But we've brought this down for some preventative maintenance. We've got some upgraded parts from CSF for it. It's already got a few CSF bits fitted to it already, but we are going with now a charge cooler, radiator condenser, and an upgraded DCT cooler. So there will be videos of these soon. We'll be fitting these along with a gearbox service kit for it. There's not any faults on the car. We're just a great believer in doing things before it goes wrong. So we'll give you a little bit of a walk around of this. As you can see, it's very highly modified. We'll start at the front end. We've got very big aerodynamic splitter for it. We've modified the front bumper here. This used to be a genuine BMW M2 CS racing part. We've actually plastic welded or nitrogen welded this to the bumper. This actually aids, originally BMW designed it for the brakes. We have different brake cooling kits underneath the car, so we've plumbed this direct into the air intakes to stop it sucking as much air once it gets warm. Then moving up here a little bit, we've just done a very subtle mod, same front and back. We've just deleted the chrome from around the badges. Very subtle little thing, but makes a big difference to the car, we feel. Carbon bonnet. Now, we were originally at one point going to paint this, but we ran out of time. I think we put this on the start of last year. We ran out of time because we needed to take the car to Germany in April and it was staying out there, so we ended up chucking the bonnet on, chucking the wings on. Never got around to painting it, but it's sort of grown on us. Let us know your thoughts, whether you think it should be painted. We were originally going to try and mask around here somehow, paint all the carbon, but leave the vents in carbon, or maybe the top of the hump, whatever you'd call that. But this isn't just on here for show, it's actually on here for effect. So this has all been cut out to allow air to flow through. So we used to have issues with this car heat soaking. Once it had done like 2 laps of the Nürburgring, you'd feel so much power come off the car. Now, obviously it was down to heat that the thing couldn't get the temperatures down. So we cut all this out once we'd got the bonnet to allow a load of air to come from the radiator packs and get out. We have actually tested this with smoke, and it does, as the air comes in, it does actually force it up and out. Moving around a little bit more, again, carbon wings, 2 things. 1, they look good, 2, they're functional. So we've cut out all the wing liners here, meshed them, and all of this is actually open, so that allows pressure to come out there, which creates more airflow for the brakes to cool. They have cooling ducts underneath from Burkhardt Engineering. Feeds the air in, but obviously then you build an air pressure pocket, so if you can get the air out. But again, when the fans are running on this car and you see it in car parks, there is hot air piling out of here, so it clearly is allowing air to flow. We've got Öhlins TTX suspension, which is the best suspension you can buy on these cars. They're external reservoired, they're a work of art. You'll see them in another video when we've got it lifted up. They're not that old. I think they've only been on it about a year or so, but they're amazing. The way that it makes you feel the car's brilliant. We've got AP Pro 5000 touring car spec brakes on the front. Just cheap wheels. They're only Pro Tracks, but the amount of wheels that I've bent and snapped spokes out of on these hitting curbs at the Nürburgring, I'm not a believer in putting a £5,000 set of wheels on a car because they just get trashed. They're all covered in brake dust and that all the while. Pretty standard down the sides. Again, at the back end, we're on AP Pro 5000 brake kit. Again, obviously Öhlins TTXs. Now the whole car underneath is uniballed. There's not a single bush that's original on it. Every single arm's adjustable arm. It's got a Drexler rear diff, which makes huge impact to the way the car feels and turns. It just, instead of spinning one wheel, you get constant power 50% split to both. You actually run 2 left-hand side shorter drive shafts on this at the back. That made a huge difference. And then coming around the back, we've got genuine M2 CS Racing spoiler. We've done our little own push on this, so we painted the sides and actually lacquered the top because we didn't like how it was, but proper fully functional spoiler. It's bolted into the actual structure of the car, so it's not just on there and not actually really doing much. Inside, we've never gone to the point of stripping it out. The car doesn't need it. It's got enough power to pull the weight that it's got. So it's just got a carpet delete kit in there. We couldn't be bothered to pull it all out. We just didn't see the need in it again. We've gone with a little black surround badge on there. We just did this ourselves here. We literally just blacked them and then cleared over the badge again. And then towards the back end, we've cut all this out in-house here. This allows more diff cooling on the back end of them, and again to release back pressure. The same down here, we cut all this off, and we've used the most OE, because we like things to look OE plus, we don't like it to look too much like it's just been stuck on. So this grille is the same measurements as the grille in the front, the same measurements as the reflector deletes that you get here. We just think it makes quite a nice impression on the car without being too much. Genuine carbon, BMW racing line, whatever they call it. It's one of their M Performance, that's the one. Genuine M Performance splitter. Then on the exhaust, we've got such a Frankenstein setup on the exhaust. It's got Akrapovic titanium rear section. It's got an Active Auto Works resonated center section and Wagner tuning sports cats. So it's a complete mixed breed. But when it's warm, it sounds horrendous when it's cold, but a lot of these S55s do. But once it's warm, it has got that proper 6-cylinder noise. It does actually give it quite a good sound. We went with some different lights on it. Now, we weren't going to put these on here. I don't really like them, in all honesty. But these are very, very prone for the indicators failing. One failed, and I didn't want to buy a light from BMW. These ones come up. They're some OLED GTS style light. Like I say, I wouldn't have ever put them in. It was just the fact that it failed, so we decided to put them in. You may like them. Like I say, we're not a massive fan. Tell you what, we'll go back around this way. We'll show you inside. So, if you take a look in there, we've done SW Motorsport roll cage. It's been colour coded in Hockenheim silver. And then we've got Recaro SPG seats. Let me just turn that off while it stops. Recaro SPG seats, Scrofe harnesses. These are adjustable, so it can still obviously move forward and backwards to allow people to get in there still. KMP wheel, which is an amazing bit of kit. The original feel of the wheels was really poor because they didn't have a magnetic shifter, if you listen to these. So you actually, as mad as it sounds, you get a lot of feedback from hearing that noise. Because I used to get it quite a lot with the standard wheel. Because it's silent, you wouldn't know that it'd gone up a gear, and sometimes you could go up 2 by accident. So that makes it a hell of a lot better. I think that's pretty much it for inside of it. We did keep it sort of club sport spec as we were building it, so we didn't, like I say, we didn't want to take everything out, all the dash and everything. I don't think there's much need. Engine wise, it's doing just over 630 horsepower in high boost. It's switchable mapping, so I think it does 630, 550, 480. It's had rod bearings done in it again. That was just preventative maintenance. I think it's on 27,000 miles now. But we put rod bearings in it just for peace of mind that it's going to last hopefully on track. It has very regular oil changes. It's had the crank hub fix done on it. It's got a Gintani one-piece crank hub, which I think was the best one they did at the time. Areve Performance have done the software on it. They've done quite a bit of the build with us on this. They did the fitting of the turbos. It's on MHI turbos. It's got some solid American engine mounts on it. eVenturi intakes. Areve Performance's own charge cooler. Like I say, we're doing a condenser radiator to work with that now. It's got boost pipes and bits like that on it, but the engine's not actually had an awful lot done. It's a standard engine, standard pistons, standard rods, standard valve springs and that, and it's quite happy. They can push this quite a lot more, but we didn't want it set up doing loads of boost because we know it'll just heat soak once it gets going. So we had it set quite low for what it could do, and we've been running it on these turbos, I think, 2 years now. Touch wood, It's been amazing. The car doesn't really have any hiccups. So we're just gonna do a couple of bits. We'll bring another video out. We're gonna get these radiators on, have a little look at the brake cooling ducts underneath, because I believe we lost one hitting a curb last year when we were on track in it. And I think we just need to check the uniballs over in the back, just to check that they're all okay, because they don't have dust jackets on them. They can start to corrode. So if any of them need new joints, we're gonna put some joints on. And then maybe some other mods, we're not quite sure yet. If you've got any ideas of where you think we should go with this, we're all ears if you want to give us some opinions. We were thinking a carbon boot for it and changing the spoiler out, but we've changed the spoiler out about 2 times now, and we are getting pretty sick of changing the boot on it, but we might do it again, you never know. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back soon with another episode of Chop Shop Diaries. For now, goodbye.